Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Leanne, this is my weight loss journey, and I'm here to be honest and truthful about where I'm at. The last upload that I did regarding the fat shame that I was feeling in Amsterdam and the swing that I was going to dare to go on that I booked, and I was going to be brave. But I had loads of concerns. It was like a fast upload just before I set off and were ready to go. So I'll recap in case in case you've not watched that and you don't know what I'm talking about. So in Amsterdam, up the aid that I was going this weekend, I'll start from the beginning. Well, through the week actually. Me and Oliver had booked a city escape. I'm trying to cover 12 countries in 12 months in my 40th year. And Amsterdam is one of them, the Netherlands. I'd never been before, and I was really looking forward to going and exploring a new country. So generally when I go, I like to have to city breaks. I like to have a look around, see what's around and see what the main things are that I want to do there and plan them a little bit. So one of the things that I'd found was the Amsterdam Lookout Tower. It's a huge building across the river Amsterdam on the outskirts, and it's really high and you get to look over the entire city, and it looked brilliant. So I booked us tickets to go up there. When booking the tickets, I found that there was like a swing right at the top of the tower. I think it's 200 meters above the ground, and you swing out over the top of the building, so your legs are like basically dangling over the thing. It is a bit of an experience for people generally because it's supposed to be a little bit daring, a bit scary with it being so high. And I thought, right, that looks pretty cool. That's something that I generally wouldn't do. Now, for years and years, I have avoided, like the plague, fairground rides, Alton Towers, going to Disneyland and things like that because the rides. I avoid them because I have been a huge weight where the weight restrictions limit me from going on them. Years and years and years ago, I went to the Goose Fair at Nottingham, went to go on a ride, and I was too big to go on the ride. So it completely and utterly mortified my soul. From there, my anxiety and fear regarding getting on things because of my weight completely and utterly grew beyond my wildest dreams ever. And I'm not really somebody that likes to be limited and likes to admit defeat. But for years and years, it meant that I was scared to go on an aeroplane or any rides or anything really without any weight restrictions. One of the things it did also limit me on was once we booked Oliver a helicopter ride to go for his birthday, to have a helicopter ride in the Peak District. There was a weight restriction on that, and I was too heavy to go on it. So that was really embarrassing. And if I'm going to be honest, that was the start of me thinking, oh my God, I've got to do something. Something's got to be done. So for years and years and years, I've not been able to do anything like this. And this opportunity has come up that we were going to Amsterdam, the swing ride were there, and I was going to book it. I was like, yep, I'm going to go for it. I looked into it and did absolutely tons of research and looked at the weight restrictions and things like that. As it happens, my weight now, because I've lost some weight, meant that me and Oliver, it was a possibility that we could go on there. And even though I knew the figures in my head, I was able to go on that ride. It still filled me like with anxiety because I just don't think your head catches up sometimes with your body. And for me, I am literally a lot of the time still there with them anxieties because they are quite hard for me. I mean, I've made a lot of progress. I have been reflecting and trying to work on myself and experimenting with different clothes and things like that. But this is just something that is quite hard for me and I find quite difficult. So last minute, I was like, right, I'm booking it. We're going on. That's what we're doing. So I was brave and I booked the 2 tickets and I was like, I'm going to do it. No matter how I feel, I'm going to do it. So I booked that for the Wednesday that we were, oh no, Tuesday that we were in Amsterdam, the second day. So the first day we walked around Amsterdam when we arrived and we've had a lovely time. And then it came to the morning and I'd got a massive blister, like again. So we went into Primark and I bought some backless shoes so then I could actually walk around because I just could not put on my boots. That made us really late for the time slot because the time restrictive. So it got to a point where I was like, oh my God, we can't go. I'm not going to be able to go on this ride. That's it. I've just got to accept it for what it were. So we arrived at the Amsterdam lookout tower that we've got tickets to actually go up to the top of it. And that wasn't time restricted. So we went at about 1 o'clock, went up there. And as we were booking the tickets in, the woman said to us, have you booked any extras? And I said, well, yeah, I'd booked the swing, but we've missed his time slot. We won't be able to go on that. And she was like, oh, actually, if you go to the top, you will be able to have a word with the guys at the top and they'll just slot you in. You'll be absolutely fine. Just take your tickets and go up there and speak to them and they'll sort that out for you. That filled me with extreme anxiety, not the actual going on the swing, but the fact that I'd like told myself that I wasn't going on the swing, and then within a few seconds, it was thrown back on me. I had a complete meltdown. So we went to the top and I'm having this, I'm not even enjoying going up to the top of this building on this lift that was amazing. And I just had, just in my body, in my head, I was like in complete and utter panic mode because I'd got my head into going so being brave enough to book it, I was like, I'm going to do this, I'm fine. And I got my head into it. Because we'd missed the time slot, I was like, right, you're not going to be able to do it here. It's fine. They have got them in other countries. I will go and do that somewhere else another time. It's fine. You're not going on it. But then because this woman were like, oh, actually, you can go on it. Oh, my actual God. I completely and utterly freaked out. I was scared to death that I was too heavy to go on. I was scared to death that there were a set of weighing scales up there, that they were going to weigh me in front of everybody. I was with Oliver, so I was scared to death that he was going to get weighed with me and I'm going to have that whole embarrassment in front of him, in front of other people. I thought people were going to look at me and be completely judgy and think, oh my God, she's too fat for that. Oh my God, I had a complete and utter breakdown. So we got to the top pretty fast. There wasn't a lot of time for me to bring my head back round into it. And we walked round to the swing and I lost it. I chickened out. I didn't go on the swing. Not because I'm scared of going on the swing. Well, I am, but it's nothing to do with the actual action of going on the swing. I completely freaked out and bottled it because I was scared to death about my way and going on that swing and all the things of embarrassment and fat shame around that. So I did go up the Amsterdam lookout tower, but I didn't end up being brave enough to face my fear and get on that swing. I haven't been on the swing. I didn't rejig my brain and think, yeah, I can go on that. I just didn't go on. So I wasted his money on his tickets. I limited Oliver going on because he wouldn't go on without me. I don't think he was that bothered about going on, but I do feel like I've let him down a little bit. And more than anything, I feel like I've let myself down. So I've done 2 years of work on this and I'm trying really hard to push myself out of my comfort zones. And so I'm wearing clothes that I've never worn before. I'm recording these videos and being really honest. I'm being more open and honest to talking to people about how I feel and the effects it's had. I'm doing loads of work on myself and my behaviours and being as honest as I can with myself. I've been on aeroplanes because I wouldn't dare sit on an aeroplane seat before, and I've done that loads now. I've been to the gym and I've overcome so many barriers to what I had before. And this was another one that I really, 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 really wanted to push myself. And I really, 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 really wanted to achieve that. And I'm home now, and I've thought about this non-stop since that happened. And I'm just really, 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 really disappointed in myself. I wasn't strong enough mentally to shove myself on that swing, regardless of the research that I'd done, regardless of the fact that I thought I was going to be able to go on it. Just, I'm so annoyed at myself. I feel I've like totally let myself down. And people maybe think that's quite dramatic, but for me, this is quite a big thing. I've been overweight my entire life, and I've constantly had these thoughts and feelings. And it's quite difficult, when you've got it in your head you can't do something for a long time, that you then are trying, like when you're trying to push yourself to do something that you've just avoided for ages. And like, I'm just really annoyed with myself. I'm really disappointed. I'm really sad with myself. And I just thought I would be able to do it. And I think had it all gone to plan and I could have gone for the time slot and I got up that morning and gone and got on that when I was supposed to, I think I geared and G'd myself up to to do that. And I got my head around the fact that I was doing it. And there were a little part of me that were a bit relieved when we weren't going to make the time slot, when I needed to get my shoes, and we were like, we're going to miss it. There's no way we're going to get there in time. We'll just have to do it another time. That's fine. There was a part of me that was a little bit relieved about that, and I kind of let that go and relaxed and thought, well, I'll not be facing these fears, and it's a little bit out of my control, and it is what it is. But then when the woman threw it on me, I just went into total chaos, like total mental panic. And even when it was happening, like when I was having this, like, I don't want to call it a panic attack because I don't think it were. I weren't like I weren't hyperventilating or anything like that. Just my mind was in complete and utter like chaos. I don't know how else to explain it, and it's not like before. I've always just avoided it, so I've not really had to go through this like feeling of making myself do something like that. I suppose I've kind of had it a bit like with the gym and with going on an aeroplane, but I've always known that that would come in, so I'd had time to prepare for that and kind of give myself a good talking to and think, sod it, you're doing it, that's that. And generally I'm quite brave. So do you know, like I feel quite weak and a bit of a failure that I've done that. I'm so annoyed with myself. I am really annoyed with myself. But I suppose this is a point where this feeling of feeling so annoyed with myself and so frustrated, I suppose this is a lesson to be learned that in future, I don't like feeling like this about myself. And I suppose in future, I'm going to have to push through that. And even if it is embarrassing, and even if it is like, even if I do feel in complete panic and stuff, I suppose I need to be a lot braver and a lot stronger and do a lot better because, coming home now and thinking, why have I just done that to myself? Why have I not done that? I could have done that. And then it's like, it was such a big thing. I even made a video about it. And then I'm like, and now I've like said I'm going to do that. I'm going to be brave enough. And I harp on all the time about mindset and you've got to be brave to push through. And then I've been weak and pathetic and not being able to do it. It is what it is, isn't it? I'm at home now. There's nothing I can do about it. But what it does mean is the next time that I go on a city break and there's one of these stupid bloody swings, I've got to do it. because now I'm sat living in a bit of regret and feeling like a bit of a failure, which is not really where I like to be. That's not really me. So that is my update for you guys. More for myself, actually, I suppose, selfishly. I'm recording this because I will watch this back and I will reflect on it, and I'll use this and this feeling of like failure and not doing it to push through next time, because as much as that felt awful, being there and being like, I don't want to do it, oh my God, they're going to weigh me, they're going to do this and this, that was like, them feelings would have just been in that moment, and if I'd overcome it, then they would have stopped. Whereas now I feel like I've let myself down. These feelings are here until however many months I get to one day go on one of them swings and be like, oh, I've done it. It weren't that bad for it. So I've now got to live with the remorse of not being brave enough and not being strong enough and letting myself down and letting Oliver down, I suppose, and maybe letting you guys down, because I really do try to show you guys that stuff can be done. Just to be, I don't even know if it does help sometimes, but I don't know, there's a bit of me that's hurtful that maybe if somebody watches this that feels like I do, might like think, well, if she can do it, I bloody can. And I feel a bit like if there is that person doing that I've just let them down as well, which is a bit sad. And it's not really what I'm about. I'm about building other people up and trying to push them to achieve the best they ever could do. And I've not done that on this occasion. So I will leave that there. Quite a sad and post, isn't it? And I'm sorry that it is a bit flat and it is a bit anticlimaxal, I suppose. And is anticlimaxal even a word? Might have just made a word up. Yeah, that's where I'm at, and I just thought I'd come online and update that. I am going back to recording more regular. I am back from my trip, and I will be uploading the rest of the stuff that I got up to on that trip and just giving you updates on where I'm at and what I'm doing. So I hope you guys have had a better, more successful week than what I have, and I will see you all again soon. Think then.